All right, y'all, we are back. Wow. I had to take a break. That was like an hour break. That last portion or segment I just talked about was pretty deep. I got really emotional. I am breaking the article down by Peggy McIntosh titled White Privilege Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack. I'm breaking it up into four different parts, and the second part was the 50 daily effects of white privilege, which there's more, but this is the short list that's available. And yeah, I didn't need to like get the longer version. This was enough. Anyways, it left me pretty emotional reading it. Gosh, oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I read this years ago, and then just coming back to it, it's never comfortable. It's just horrible. I don't know. It's just no one should have privilege over another person because of their race. No one. We live in America, and we're in 2021, and it still goes on today. Gosh. All right, so this next portion is part three, elusive and fugitive. You can put your comment in the chat box if you're a subscriber. This is only positive comments and questions. All negative will be deleted. Let's go. Elusive and fugitive. I repeatedly forgot each of the realizations on this list until I wrote it down. For me, white privilege has turned out to be an elusive and fugitive subject. The pressure to avoid it is great, for in facing it, I must give up the myth of mediocrity. If these things are true, this is not such a free country. One's life is not what one makes it. Many doors open for certain people through no virtues of their own. I'll repeat. If these things are true, this is no such a free country. One's life is not what one makes it. Many doors open for certain people through no virtues of their own. In unpacking this invisible knapsack of white privilege, I have listed conditions of daily experience that I once took for granted. Nor did I think of any of the prerequisites as bad for the holder. I now think that we need a more finely differentiated taxonomy of privilege, for some of these varieties are only what one would want for everyone in a just society, and others give license to be ignorant, oblivious, arrogant, and destructive. And I believe in this paragraph I pronounced the word wrong. Let me see. Never heard this word. Let's see. Nor did I think of any of these perquisites, 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 perquisites as bad for the holder. I don't know. We have to look that up. Perquisites. Well, should I do it during this right now? No, I won't. Anyways, it looked like from what I'm reading, just getting context from it all, it looked like what she's saying is, nor did I think of any of these things, these privileges, were bad for her, were negative against her. Because now she says, I now think that we need a more finely differentiated taxonomy of privilege. For some of these varieties are only what one would want for everyone in a just society, and others give license to be ignorant, oblivious, arrogant, and destructive. Pretty interesting. Let's continue. I see a pattern running through the matrix of white privilege, a pattern of assumptions that were passed on to me as a white person. There was one main piece of cultural turf. It was my own turn, and I was among those who could control the turf. My skin color was an asset for any move I was educated to want to make. I could think of myself as belonging in major ways and of making social systems work for me. I could freely disparage, fear, neglect, or be oblivious to anything outside of the dominant culture forms. Being of the main culture, I could also criticize it fairly freely. In proportion as my racial group was being made confident, comfortable, and oblivious, other groups were likely being made unconfident, uncomfortable, and alienated. Whiteness protected me from many kinds of hostility, distress, and violence, which I was being subtly trained to visit in turn upon people of color. For this reason, the word privilege now seems to me misleading. We usually think of privilege as being a favored state, whether earned or conferred by birth or luck. Yet, some of the conditions I have described here work systematically to over empower certain groups. Hmm. Such privilege simply confers dominance because of one's race or sex. The end of the paragraph titled Elusive and Fugitive. All positive comments are accepted. Thank you.